11th. And with me in the studio is my head coach, Markus. Good morning, Mark.
Good
So,
morning, Marcus.
the major indices continue to drop. But let's take a look at yesterday's drop first. So, yesterday, NASDAQ down, what, 2% yesterday, I believe? And then,
Yeah, and it was the worst day since March for the NASDAQ. So, kind of propelling this drop, you see that close lower was the lowest we've seen in weeks, actually months,
yeah.
and it's looking worse today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the markets, take a look at the futures markets to get an idea of what's happening here pre-market. So here is the NASDAQ. Look at this. I mean, it's down, what, another 2%.
Yeah, and Marcus, I just read that there was FDA approval for the Pfizer BioNTech's vaccine for 12 to 15-year-old kids, and new infections in the U.S. fell to its lowest level in 11 months. So there's this, potential positive news affecting the economy and the reopening of the economy, but this is not about that. This is about the yield and concerns with tech, and we saw that sector rotation, and it seems like it's piling on right now regardless of what's going on in the US with vaccines and the pandemic.
Yeah, it's really right now inflation jitters are there. And if you look
Yep.
at the 10-year yield, we see that this is slightly pointing up here this morning. I mean, it's really not a whole lot. We're up 0.7%. And honestly, just looking at this, yeah, it has been rising at this where everybody got nervous about inflation, and then it rolled over, popped up a little bit again. But you see, overall, we're still in a downtrend here. But this is what right now is in the news, right? I mean,
Sure.
inflation. And
And
looking at the economic calendar, this is where tomorrow we will know more of how bad it is, because tomorrow the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, will be released. So we shall see what's happening there.
Exactly, Marcus. And with the expectation coming in, I've read that already it's pricing in a 3.5% rise in April. So I think that the data tomorrow, I mean, it's big. It's big. And people could be reading into it, even expecting potentially a worse reading there, which would be a shock.
Well, and let's talk about it. I mean, 3.5% is way above the 2% that is the target that has been set by the Fed. I mean, the Fed always said, well, we have a 2% target. But I mean, both Treasury Secretary Yellen and Fed Chair Powell says, well, this is all just temporary. We have it going on right now. This will get better. No worries. We're not concerned about this right now. So we just want to make sure that in the long run, we are hitting our target here. And I mean, how do you push inflation down towards the target? This is by raising interest rates. And this is where the market is nervous right now, especially tech stocks. I mean, you mentioned it because tech stocks are actually relying on low interests to fuel their growth. So we can take, for example, at Facebook. So Facebook, if you take a look at this, so yesterday down 4%, and today pre-market down another 2.26%, poised to open probably below 300 here. So that's kind of big. And also, if you look at Tesla, or just in general, the EV, the electric vehicles. So Tesla here also yesterday down, what, 6%. This morning tacking on another 7%. Right now it seems that they're opening well below 600, which, well, it has been a while since they're there, but it seems that Tesla might be opening at 583.
Yeah, it has been a while, and I know that, combined with, potentially inflation and interest rates, there was also the news that they stopped plans to expand their Shanghai plant as an export hub. So that's probably contributing a little bit to that. But yeah, I mean, interesting start. What are you looking at now, Marcus?
ARK, Cathie
That
Wood's
was
ARK
exactly what I was
Innovation
going
ETF.
to mention.
Huh?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna bring that up. Cathie Wood in her innovation ETF. I mean, this has been a fan favorite for quite a while, and it's getting hammered right now.
Yeah, so right now pre-market below 100, lost 5% yesterday, poised to lose another 5% this morning. So it seems that we are opening here, which would be the lowest in what for her 6 months, right? Because I mean, we also got to see she has a lot of Tesla in there. So if Tesla gets hurt, so does this fund here. Anyhow, yeah, let's take a look. I mean, we talked about it yesterday that prices are rising anywhere, everywhere, right? I mean, we talked about lumber. So lumber here is making new highs, even though it seems that yesterday it retraced a little bit. It seems that maybe some profit taking. So yesterday lumber was down 5%, which after this phenomenal run up, maybe sigh of relief here. We talked about copper. We talked about soybeans. I mean, even food prices right now, and they're still on the rise. So soybeans are up this morning already 0.5%. Corn, we talked about corn. So they're also up this morning 1%. So everything is getting more expensive. And even Tesla bumped up the price of the Model 3 by $500 for the 6th time this year. So it's now $2,500 more than it would have cost in February. So crazy.
That is. Hey, Marcus, pull up SPCE. You could talk about a couple of earnings movers.
Yeah, SpaceX, Richard Branson's space company here.
Yeah, this one's getting hammered after reporting a loss that was double than expected. They reported a 55-cent loss per share versus a 27-cent loss that was expected. So not looking good for anybody holding SPCE right now.
Yeah, now below $15. Wow, this is a low that we haven't seen in a while, right?
Yeah.
What else do you have?
On a positive, news, Callaway Golf, ELY. Let's go with some positive news this morning.
Oh, okay. Yay.
So up 7% or so after saying that demand for its products has been unprecedented. So I guess the golf world is doing well.
It sure looks like it. I mean, let's just zoom out here a little bit and see if we are going to a weekly chart. It seems that they have been a pandemic winner. Wow, look at this. Yeah. Definitely, right? So, I mean, as everybody can work from home, it seems that home might be extended to the golf course.
No, another one I saw move in pre-market, NVAX.
Okay.
Novavax.
Oh.
When I looked, they were down 12% almost.
Yeah, right now they're down almost 15%.
Wow, okay. I guess if they push back their timetable for vaccine approvals, actually saying it won't apply for regulatory approval in the US, the UK, and Europe until the third quarter. So, I don't know how exactly that ties into things, because if they're, manufacturing and they're profitable with the vaccines, it seems like it doesn't matter if it's a temporary approval or not, but big move pre-market for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, so we have PFE, Pfizer, who now, as you said, I mean, they basically got approval yesterday to roll out the vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. And the CDC is supposed to rule on this tomorrow, and most likely it will be a yes. Then we have Moderna, who are also distributing the vaccine. Johnson & Johnson, yeah, so I mean, NVAX, Novavax, kind of late to the table here.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, Marcus. If they get pushed to the side because of some bigger players that are getting approval, that could be an issue.
Yeah, even AstraZeneca, right? I mean, they have a vaccine, so that's probably why. If they now say, well, it'll be even later, okay, so that's not looking good. Hey, did you hear about Facebook? Facebook was working on an Instagram for kids. I'll just bring up Facebook here again. They actually confirmed it in March, and this is for Instagram. So it would be an Instagram for 13 years and under. So I think that this is crazy. And right now, a group of 44 states and also territory attorneys are telling Facebook, you know what? Don't do this. This is a bad idea. I mean, yeah. Basically, if you're still having training wheels on your bicycle, you shouldn't be on Instagram. So yeah, this is the Instagram. I mean, Facebook said that they are working on this, but this might be nixed. I mean, together with the pressure that Facebook is facing right now, with the Apple changes here that they can't track users anymore, with this and the general weakness in the tech sector. So this might be tough for Facebook.
Sure. Unless you're partnering up with Big Bird, those are probably troubled waters to dip into.
Yeah. Let's see what crude oil is doing this morning. So crude oil, this is where, let me go back to a daily chart here. So, well, it seems to be rather calm after this Colonial pipeline was disrupted by a hacker attack. They said that it should be substantially restored by the end of the week. So I don't know if this is why crude price is already moving lower here.
Yeah, Marcus, I didn't read into any new news other than the initial news from over the weekend. But it really seems like there was that initial shock. Pre-market oil and gas stocks were up because, like you mentioned, it's the largest supplier in the U.S. that basically supplying the East Coast and 5,500 miles of pipeline from the Gulf to New York. So that's huge. But it sounds like the reaction in getting things back up and running, it seems to be a minor impact, because even yesterday there was the reversal in oil and gas stocks. Most of those finished lower after being up over 1%. And as you just pointed out, crude oil not really reacting right now, even though it'd be gas and diesel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there's also gas and I think jet fuel that was really affected with the pipeline.
Anyhow, so quite interesting. I heard that the FBI confirmed that a hacking group called DarkSide was behind the attack, and they actually issued a statement. Did you hear about that? So they issued a statement basically saying, we're sorry. We didn't mean for this to happen. We're just in it for the money, not for political reasons. All we wanted is, I mean, we're selling this ransomware, and we wanted people to pay us a lot of money, and well, we kind of had to shut it down, but we didn't mean to. I mean, come on, seriously? I mean, unbelievable.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. All right. What else?
Let's see here.
Ford. Let's talk about Ford. So Ford also down this morning, but they said that they will unveil their F-150, the all-electric one, and it will be called the F-150 Lightning. And they say they're doing it next week on May 19th. This is when they will unveil their truck. But they also say, well, sales will start in 2022, so not anytime soon here. Yesterday they were down almost 1%. This morning down 2.5%. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, I started to see it looks like little things are being leaked, and there's a lot of buzz, because of course there are a lot of Ford fans and people loyal to the Ford brand. But it's interesting. I mean, we were talking about it, just the whole electric vehicle market right now taking a bit of a dip. So I think that's a positive for Ford. Nothing to get too excited about right now, because they have a lot to work on. I mean, it's up and coming, and normally deadlines with the auto manufacturing industry get extended, aren't shortened. So
yeah. So I also heard that it'll cost $72,000 or something like this. So it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. Anyhow, hey, I know that we need to jump over to our mastermind group where we'll trade live this morning. Hope that you enjoyed this morning's update. If you did, click on like. And if you want to catch us tomorrow again, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, because this way you get notified whenever we are going live or releasing a new video. Okay, see you soon.
Happy trading.